Welcome to the Nakedly You podcast. My name is Mafalda, and I'm inviting you to talk about bodies and how to be with them. I'm also bringing some guests every week, and sometimes the guest is me. I hope you enjoy it. Hey everybody, so welcome to the 6th episode of the Nakedly You podcast. So today I have an amazing guest with me. Hi Satu.
Hello. I thought that you said sex episode, but no.
Sixth. Yeah. But I mean, it can be an episode about sex, so it's all good.
You told me that you have a different plan. You were not talking about sex.
I was not talking about sex. Why? Why can't we talk about sex? I mean, it's a Nakedly You podcast. We are dressed. I mean, yes, we are. So anyway. So for those of you that don't know Satu is for me one of the most amazing people that I know. So you're welcome. But she is, and she's one of the people that really makes me choose greater. Every time I'm around her, I'm near her. And I must say, then choosing this greater that I'm talking about, sometimes it's not very comfortable. But that's one of the things I like about you, Satu, which is you are not there to make me comfortable.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I'll take it as a compliment.
It is, because that's one of the things about changing, and that's one of the reasons that I brought you in is like, when I started this podcast, I was really talking about how I bring people, or what people do I bring, or what situations I create in my life to choose to have more of me, whatever that means, having all of me every time I'm with myself, which means all the time. Interesting. So one of the things that I really enjoyed is having people that brings more of me to myself, and that's not comfortable all the time. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy spending a lot of time with you, not because of the being comfortable or not, but it's a space where I'm allowed to be myself, whatever that means.
I like the quote from wherever, I think I've heard it a million times in different places, is that nothing grows in the comfort zone.
Exactly.
And that's also like, if you look at nature, if something in the nature, like a tree or a plant, when they stop growing, they are on the pathway to die. So what a happy start for the podcast. But basically, like, if you're not choosing to grow and be more every day, you're basically choosing to go towards dying.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Well, thank you. Because that's one of the things that I'm really enjoying playing with this podcast and all the things that I'm creating around it, which is, this is not supposed to be a podcast where I'm going to say exactly what people desire to listen. I'm going to say whatever is show up with the conversation that we go. So for all those that are expecting that I have an agenda for this podcast, I have none. I have
it's
no
not
paper
about sex,
with me.
though. It's not about sex, though.
It might be. It might be. So, one of the things that we chat about was, and we chat about a lot of times, besides the comfort zones and how much we desire not to stop growing and keep asking for more and be more, is one of the things is to include everything that every person, everything that is in our lives, and for me, this is one of the biggest thing, which is my body. And that's one of the reasons I invite you, Satu, to come to the podcast, which is, she has a very different relationship with her body.
Wow.
With everything that she chooses.
I've never acknowledged that.
You're welcome. So today is Acknowledgement Day. Yay!
Wow. Huh. Go on.
So she has a very different relationship with her body, and if you know her, the way she eats, the way she dresses, the way she is, I'm saying she's here, but it's like it's so different. It's so different from everybody that I know. Because for me, what I see is an inspiration for her to be in communion with her body. Is that, I mean, maybe it's not, but for me, it's what I see, you know?
This is like, I'm like, wow, I've never really looked at it that way because I've always just gone for like, I guess, gone for more ease and that commitment to create more ease with the body and with like, I mean, my body is in my life all the time. So I might as well look at like it not being a problem, but rather something that, first of all, well, first it was just to get out of the pain and out of like the problems with the body, but then also starting to look at like, well, it's there all the time. So I might as well like use it or have it as something that contributes.
Yeah. So this is, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy having, which is like, so what might, goodness words, what made you choose that? What is the things that brought you into this space of having more of your body in your life?
Wow. I'm like, whoa, how did that even like, I almost want to say happened, but I would say that it really started with like, I just did not have ease with my body at all before. And like, I had so many like pains and problems, and I was sick all the time. And it was just horrible to a point where it was like, I don't really like having a body. And looking at like, maybe I should live without a body, which I mean, it's possible. You don't really die when you leave your body, but it's a very different life. And that's where like it started with me. And I started really looking at like, what does it create if I actually leave my body, if I literally die and not have this kind of life that you can have on this planet with this body? And I guess that's where it started, where I went into like, okay, I actually would rather prefer to explore what's possible with having a body on this planet. And then like going like, okay, well, it fucking hurts all the fucking time. And then having to like look at different ways to get out of all that pain. And then starting to see that a lot of the things that I thought were like pains or problems were actually, how would we call it? Tools or different like invitations or different possibilities instead of what it first looked like a pain or a problem. So I would say that that's how it started. And I still remember, because in Access Consciousness, we both are facilitators of Access Consciousness. We use the tools a lot. And there is this tool like ask your body what it would like to eat and really just go for that. I was like, I don't know, like my body doesn't really know. And all of us have that, like, yeah, I will ask my body. And if it tells me to eat the things that I have decided that it should eat, then I will follow it. But if it doesn't, I will force it to eat what it needs to eat because I know what it needs to eat because carrots are healthy. So that, and I was like, and that's kind of how it was at first for me. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to just try it. I will give it a go. And I think I was like, for 2 weeks, I will eat whatever my body wants to eat. 2 weeks, it was chips and Coke. And I was like, seriously? But I just went like, whenever I wanted to have that and it was light, I would let it have that. And eventually, like within those 2 weeks, it was like a detox process when I noticed, oh no, the body did not want to eat these things. Okay, that's how it felt. Oh, now it did. That's how it felt. Now it didn't. That's how it felt. And learn that communication with my body. And then it started like asking different things. I was like, oh, this is when it's asking that thing. Oh, okay. And just experimented with that and how much better that felt. like how much like food in itself is such a massive topic. But just the couple of, I think a week ago or something, I asked my body what he wanted to eat for lunch, and he wanted to order a burger. And I ordered that, and when I was eating that, it kept like expanding the space of my body. It wasn't like when you eat and then you feel really full, but it rather just felt even more like spacious. I was like, oh, this is what eating could do. It could be a way to make our bodies really feel better, really like feel more spacious.
Yeah. That's amazing. Like, wow. Yeah, that's very, very interesting in terms of what is the things that your body would like to eat, and what is the things, and when would it like to eat. And that's for those of you that already know, we are access consciousness facilitators, and we travel a little bit. And it's very interesting when we happen to meet in classes. It really is this, like, oh, I would like to eat this, I would like to have that, I would like. And I'm saying this because I don't live with Satu, so I don't know what's happening during the time that she's home, but or the time that she's not with me. But with the time that she is with me, I can really see that in motion. Like, what is it? So if you could give somebody a tip about how they could communicate with their bodies, what would you say?
Well, I would say kind of a similar thing as what I say to people when they come to entity classes, which I'm also a facilitator of, is that when you have a sense that this might be what your body is saying, or an entity is saying, or whatever is saying, just go with that. Like, even if you're not sure, but if you're like, I think my body would like to eat a carrot, and then just eat a carrot and see how it feels. Because your body will give you like immediate feedback. If it felt good, or maybe it will throw up, that means it actually didn't want it. And or if it like tastes good, it wanted it. If it tastes bad, it didn't want it. So just like go and explore, because what's the worst thing that could happen? You might eat something your body didn't want and you'll throw up, but you'll know.
Yeah. So do you happen to have the same thing with sex? I said it was going to be about sex. Because, okay, this is it could be a bit out of context, but if you are eating something, you can also be eating someone.
I was going to say, but then I was like, I'll say carrot instead. Like, sort of prefer, but no. Okay.
So do you happen to do the same thing with people?
So you try someone and you're like, I didn't like, I threw up. Getting out of hand. I think you need to cut this.
No, it won't be cut, because this is a nakedly podcast. You have to deal with the naked parts.
Should I take my clothes off now?
I mean, only
we're at that point.
Should I have to make a restriction at the YouTube channel, like, this is adults only, plus 18, or in some places 21? I have no clue. Forbidden in other countries.
I'm not wearing pants.
So, ladies and gentlemen, she's not wearing pants. So it makes everything easier for sex.
It does. It faster, you know?
I even hit my table. I was like, what is going on?
You got so excited. You're like, carrots.
Pants!
Oh, goodness.
So,
yeah,
actually, it happens. So I'm actually asking a question out of curiosity, but it's like, and maybe guys, you are too. So, Satu, do you happen to do the same with the carrots and the people?
I have. I must admit that I have. And, you know, sometimes you just find out, like, yeah, that was not cool. I did not like that. And what next, you know?
Yeah, true. Very, very true. So
And
guys, here you have it. You said, yeah, keep going. Keep going.
yeah, but like that thing of how much we are like, oh my God, I made a mistake and now my whole life is ruined. But it doesn't have to be. Like, it can literally just be like, okay, I tried this once, did not work. Now I know.
Exactly. Happens with sex too, people. For
Yeah.
those of you that happen to enjoy it. So that's the other thing. Do you do the same with your business?
Yeah, definitely.
'Cause
That's
and
interesting. It's almost like easier there, like where it's just easier to like try different things and go like, oh, that did not work. Okay, you know, what else is possible now with this thing? So yeah.
yeah. And one of the things that you mentioned here, and most of people may or may not know what talk to the entities mean. So do you want to chat a little bit about that?
Well, toxic entities is basically just a part of access consciousness as well. It's like different kinds of tools and classes for dealing with entities.
So here you have it, guys, a little bit of information. So meaning, since you are a talk to the entities facilitator and entities are all around us, doesn't mean that it's weird. I get, for me, it's way more common, and for people around me are, you being able to communicate with entities is something that is more present.
Why don't we
And
talk about what that has to do with the body?
that's what I was going to say. So how do you play with your body and entities? How do you use your body to be aware or whatever
Yeah.
it is? That's what I was going to ask you. What? You are reading my mind. What's going on? No, I'm joking.
Oops, sorry. I don't do that with other people all the time. Yeah, your secrets are safe as long as you keep them in your head. Yeah, but like that's like one of the things that I've always really loved about talking in these classes, because a lot of us, we don't even get that there is you and then there's your body and you're not the same thing. And that's one of the things that I really got from talking into this like knowing that, okay, this is me and that's my body, and we have these different ideas, we have different preferences, and since we're not the same thing, that means that we can also create together. We can have a relationship or we can have a creationship or whatever that is. And that like alone gave me so much more ease with all these things where I'm like, I don't really want that thing. Why does my body want that thing? To get that, like, you and your body have different preferences for things. You like different things. And then like looking at how do you create that relationship, creationship working. And the thing is also like, as long as you desire to live on this planet with the body, it's this body that you have that you will have, you know. So if you have constantly conflicts with your body or you desire like completely different things, how is that going to work? How long will you live with that body? And then also to have that like ease to know that, well, there is something else after that. You can choose different things. You could also just get rid of this body and create a new one. And that's the thing I got from talking in this class. I don't know if this is getting too advanced stuff, but and then also like your body is aware all the time of everything. Like it just is aware. It's just us, the beings, who refuse to be aware. So your body is also aware of entities, everything that's around you all the time. It does not know how to like not be aware. So then your body is aware of entities that you might not be aware of, and you can start to tap into your body's awareness and use that to your advantage.
So are you saying that your body functions a little bit like an antenna for everything that is going on around you? And when I say around you, it's like, doesn't have to be like 5 meters or 5 miles or 5, whatever you want to
Basically,
call.
around you, meaning the whole planet.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what the body is. Like it's your like interface between this planet and everything that's happening in the physical world, and then you as the being, because you're not physical as a being.
Yeah. So, and this, I'm starting to enjoy more and more of my body and the way my body communicates with me. So what tips could you have, or maybe what do you know that could contribute to people know more about what their bodies are communicating with them?
Well, one thing I would do is just to start asking with whatever shows up in your body, just ask, what awareness is this? What awareness is my body trying to give to me, to tell me, instead of going to like, oh, it's knee pain. What if it's not knee pain? Like, if it's not knee pain, what awareness is it?
Yeah. And that's for me is brilliant, because, and even for me starting this podcast and being really out of control with my questions, because I don't have a list of questions that I sent previous to Satu or to any of the people that came here, is really that
Thank God.
I don't have them. It's like, and for me it's really, oh, what am I going to ask next? And usually it's, and for me it really is the out of control thing of you and your body in sync and playing together can create this beautiful space that can contribute to all of you that are listening and watching this. And one of the things that came forward when you were talking about the body and the awareness of the body is like, goodness, how do I put this into words?
I can see the thing it's like in front of you, and then you're like, oh no, word. How? That looks amazing.
Because there is a space of your body, and because I mean there is a space where you can create your body whatever you want to create. Like you said, you can have this body and play with this body the way that this body is, but there is also a space where your body is willing to play with whatever you desire. And the thing that I'm looking at is like, how can the body contribute in this playfulness? And
Kind of like the adventure, you know, how much we've just avoided having the adventure in favor of having like predictable life, something that we need to like fit into and have like things go the same way. And then your body goes like, oh my God, look this possibility of having fun. And we're like, no, that does not fit into like the plan that I have for my life. So no. And then your body's like, but it would be so much more fun for both of us. And then you're like, you keep ignoring that, and it ends up being like a pain or a sickness or actual disease, even though maybe first your body was just showing you something fun, something that would make it an adventure.
yeah, and with everything that is going on in the world, I guess fun and adventure could be something welcome for now
Yeah,
and the future.
yeah, and especially like these times, how much we've been told that like don't live, it's dangerous, you will die. But that's like that's gonna happen anyways at some point, so you might as well live right now, even if that means that you get to live for 5 minutes. But what if that's more valuable than like not living but being sort of alive? Actually, yesterday, so I went to the center to do some shopping, and I saw like this one of the biggest pop bands in Finland. They just released a new album, and the title of the album, if I translate that into English, is "Don't Be Afraid of Life," which is like how much do we just avoid with our bodies all of the living that we could be having. We're just like, oh my God, but what if something happens to my body? But something is constantly happening to your body.
Yeah. This is brilliant for me. I really enjoy these conversations because there is a different possibility available in the world right now. Even with everything that is going on, there is such a different space that people can choose to live. And this, for me, for all of you that know, this month, September and October, are the suicide awareness months and the mental health awareness month. And I get that for me, for the first time in a long time, um, they don't have the same meaning. And for me, meaning, I mean, there is possibility available now that for me, for example, last year, I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? Because I'm drowning in sadness and torture, almost that, you know? And for me, for the first time in this year, it's like, although everything is going very weirdly in the world, there is a sense of something else being available for all the people that are struggling with mental health issues and suicidal thoughts. I don't know. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because as a access consciousness facilitator, we have tools that help people having a different life.
I also wonder for how many, like, the sort of like the source for the depression and desire to kill yourself is because you have things going on with your body that are just not working. I know for me it was, I literally was at this point at one point when it was just before 18 when I got this thing going on with, I was just sick all the time. I had things going on with my body all the time. But this one particular thing that was so painful and that I was like, no, like if this is what's it going to be like, and nobody could figure out what it was or what to do with that, that I was like, no, I cannot, literally cannot live with this. Like if this is going on with my body, I'm out of here. And then then I found access, I found all these things that actually changed it. But when you have something going on with your body that doesn't seem like you can change it or you're in so much pain, I get it, like you want to get out of here, but just want to also say that there are tools for everything, literally for every single thing. So if you're one of those who is struggling with something going on with your body that you have not been able to change, it just keeps being this like big thing in your world, or maybe like not a big thing but constant, this like it just nags you away, there are tools for that too.
Yeah, and that's for me what I have the sense of different possibility, because it's also not this, no, for me it's no longer the space of you cannot do that, you cannot choose to kill yourself, and I'm not asking anybody to kill themselves. It's just there are different possibilities available and there are different spaces available. But the first one is like not judging yourself, not judging you because you are going through that and you are thinking about committing suicide, or you are struggling with. And one of the things that and we are we are going back to talk to the entities, but one of the things about mental health is like, do you get there is a little bit or a lot having with the sense of being aware of other beings, of your
Yeah,
body being so like aware of them?
yeah, that is like a lot. A lot was going on, and we're like aware of everyone, whether they have a body or not. So entities or people who do have bodies at the moment, and everything that's going on for them. And sometimes also like there are entities, so beings who don't have bodies at the moment, who would like to have a body. They might be whispering to you to get rid of your body so that they can take your body. So really just to be aware is the cure for everything.
Maybe. What do
Yeah.
you think? Yeah, and I get a lot of that, like the space where is starting to be allowed to be aware of things. There are so many more people that are willing, they're in the world willing to have that and willing to be the difference that they are. And one of the persons that I know is this lady here. I think it's here. I mean, it's like there. Oh my goodness. So how was your life of choosing, how are you was it's like, how has been since the day you started your life as a more a willing more willing conscious being. I mean, I'm not saying that you are totally conscious, but you are a little bit more willing to be that. And choosing, I'm not.
Yeah, sure. But I would say that like it was a similar thing as with the body. It was just this like everything sucked so much. And I was like felt like I'm so fucked up, and then like everything is just so horrible that then I was like, whatever, I'm like ready to let go of everything, which like in a way it's a tough way to go into the world with that. Like go into like I'm just making sure that everything sucks as much as possible, because then I will let go of it with more ease, rather than having things kind of okay and then you like slowly, well, maybe I'll choose a bit more awareness. I was more of an extremist where I was like, chuck everything away and choose everything different right away, like as much as I can. And I'm sure like some of those who are listening to this might be like that too, where you know that you're really extreme, and then when you choose anything extreme, it will be very extreme.
So would you say that that was a little bit of, because one of the things that I notice more and more in the world, for people to not reveal how they are feeling or how they are living their lives, they create a kind of a mirror or an image of themselves into the world. So do you get that you had to do that in order to
Or just a little bit?
I get that for me, for example, when I did my first podcast, I was not willing to show myself as I am, wherever that means, whatever I look like. And I get that we have a lot of that with a lot of things, how people see you in the internet, how people see you as a facilitator or as a person that works in a certain types of companies, or so how do you deal with this kind of things? Because the more that we are being that image, that's my sense, is like the more you are being that image, the less you are being you, the more you are struggling with your mental health.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess it just comes from this thing of like, are you willing to care enough about yourself to choose something different and look at like, okay, this is an image that I have created. I am functioning from an image of what I have decided that I have to be in the world, but is that killing me? Oh yeah, it's killing me.
no.
Do I want to die? Do I want to die because of what I don't allow myself to choose?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of a choice.
Yeah.
For people to, yeah. So if you could have any type of advice or tool or something, if you want to bring, what would you say or invite people to, for them to be more of them?
I would start with like, you're not as bad as you think you are, and it's not going to be as horrible as you think it is. Because what I've also noticed with like starting to like let myself be more me and going beyond like what the image is and all of that is that I think that if I would really reveal myself and be me, that would mean horrible things and that would be something horrible. And the more I look into it, I'm finding that it's not. It's quite the opposite. And one of the things that I, for example, was hiding about me for so long was the sense of humor. And that I actually do like to laugh about everything all the time. And I do joke about things, and I do like maybe sometimes a little bit like dirty jokes and stuff. And I was like hiding that so much because I was like, somehow I decided that that's just bad, or that's like not honoring of people. You cannot laugh in that kind of situation. You cannot make a joke about something like that. And you cannot like smile when you're walking in the street. Like that would be just bad. And I even like, it was a bit over a year ago. I remember I was walking in the street. I was on my way home, and I had been like at the center of the city for a while to like handle different things. And then like I'm on my way home and was like, why do my cheeks hurt? Like my face hurts. Like it feels super weird here. And then I realized that, whoa, because I would really like to like laugh and smile. And I've been trying to be so serious while I have been at the center, like handling things. And that's why it was hurting, literally hurting on my cheeks, because I was suppressing that laughter and that smile that I had.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's very interesting. And for all the people that are watching this, it's like, how much are we not allowing ourselves to be happy for the fun of being happy?
And then we get pains.
Exactly. In your cheeks.
Yeah.
I get that I'm starting to have a little bit of pain, but I'm just so smiley today that my cheeks are like, you haven't been using us for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, good
The different
gracious.
muscle, you know, being happy.
Yeah. So, what do you do for happiness?
What do you do for happiness?
Or what do you be for happiness? Do you have anything that you enjoy doing and being that makes you happy?
Oh my god, should I like all
Are
kinds
you
of
talking about
images?
masturbation? Okay, no, I know.
All kinds of images in my head. I'm like, am I doing really need to like say it?
We already ruled out masturbation, so we can
Good thing you said it and I didn't.
exactly. So it's a healthy thing, people. It's a healthy thing. I mean, it's part of the mental health
I
program.
was going to say that it's good for your mental health.
Oh, good gracious.
I've
But
also noticed that like quite a lot of things that just getting to do things together with my body, that often brings happiness. Like like so many things that you do in your everyday life, if you would actually acknowledge that your body is there and do them with your body and being present in your body, everything can be so much fun and everything can make you happy. Like when I don't know, I don't really do dishes, I have a dishwasher, but like filling it and all of that or emptying it, I often like dance and I do all these, like it's not just this like put this thing here, put this thing here. That would be so boring. But then like when you actually be there with your body, like, oh my god, I get to move with my body in this way and in this way, and then move this thing here. Everything can be a source of happiness.
yeah. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I
Kind of
like,
like,
yay.
yeah, kind of like if you like, if there's a person in your life that you really enjoy, does it matter what you do with them? Or is it just like everything is super fun with them?
Yeah, that's true.
The
It's
same
like,
with the body.
yeah. Yeah, that's, hmm. So, people, let's invite our bodies to play all the time,
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Yeah.
So, anything you would like to say that we haven't said about the bodies and things that you would like more people to know about that I haven't asked or I haven't said or you haven't said?
It's not as bad as you think.
Actually, it's very fun when you have a body that enjoys playing with you and you enjoy playing with your body. It's kind of
Well,
cool.
your body always enjoys playing with you. It's just we who don't always get that or decide that we don't enjoy it. So
Oopsie.
yeah.
Goodness. So, if people would like to find you somewhere, anywhere,
That sounds like we're talking
whatever,
about stalking now.
people don't stalk. That's not stalk. Don't stalk. I'm just going to the mic. I'm not doing anything dirty. Where could they find you?
I have to say that when you said that, the image that I got in my head was when you sent me once a photo that you were licking your own boob because you had dropped something on it.
Yes, people, I do that. They are amazing. I love them. So I can lick them. They are big enough for that.
Oh, yeah. So I do have a website. It's satulindgren.com. And then also Facebook page, Satu Lindgren again. And Instagram, Satu, then underscore S underscore Lindgren. They're very complicated. It's always my name, but my name is complicated if you're not from Finland or Sweden. So
we will have them on the description down below. I don't
down
know.
below. Sure.
Anyway.
Down below.
So I want to thank you. My body desires really to thank you and to hug you very soon.
Yeah.
Hugs, people. Hugs are amazing. And I hope you have a lot of fun in the near future and a longer future and any future. I mean, why not?
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Satu.